And we're going to use the flow along a curve command to add some text that flows along from side to side of our box so that when we fold this up, it wraps and flows all the way around it. I've already drawn a curve that goes along here. Does not matter what that curve looks like. I figured out the length of the curve, and I've drawn a straight line that is the same length as this. Remember, we click on that, type length, and it tells us how long it is. I've also already drawn on the text that I want to add and have it scaled so that it will fit on that line. Now we're going to do record history. That's important so we can get things lined up the way we want it. I'm going to type flow. Select objects to flow is going to be our text. Hit enter. Base curve near one end right here. Target curve near one end right here. So I just took and moved all of that onto our curve. Now we notice that it does in some cases, it makes things look a little funky. You can play with that, tinker with that a little bit if you want. There we go. I'm happy with the way that looks right now. So I can get rid of this if I'm happy with it and not going to make any changes. Okay, and that's okay, that error. Now what I need to do is I need to use the split command to split these letters that cross over these curves or cross over these edges where the box is going to be folded, and then I'm going to move things onto our box over here. So I created a white layer that I'm going to use just for guides, and I'm going to come in here. It should be on the white layer. There we go. And I'm going to draw a line at each fold in the box. Now, if I wanted to get crazy, I could have it start on the bottom, flow here, and up to the top. I'm not going to do that for now. What we're going to do, we're going to ungroup this, so Control-Shift-G, and I'm going to click on the C here. I'm going to use the split command. For cutting objects, it's going to be the white line that I drew, and hit enter. So now I have two different sections of C here. And I'm going to do the same thing for the L and for the N. So highlight it, type split, cutting objects, it's going to be the white line, white curve, hit enter, and yes, that's okay. And same thing here for the N, split, cutting line is going to be that white curve, enter, and yes, that's okay. So now I have two different sections of N, L, and C. What I am now going to do is highlight those. I'm going to regroup these. That way we can move things without worrying about them coming apart. And again, we hold Shift to select multiple things at once. Okay. So now we have those grouped, and these lines here are going to help us get things lined up the way we want them to be. So I am going to, select that and Shift to select that curve. And I'm going to copy it. I don't want to move it, I just want to copy it. That way I can still make some changes if I need to. So copy. And this one I'm going to start on the front piece right here. Now the reason I kept this line is so that I can get things set up properly. I can highlight both those now, use the rotate command, grab the bottom, grab the top, and then if I snap to that edge, it moves it over. I can get rid of the white curve if I want, or I can wait till the end and I can turn it off. I'm going to do the same thing again for this one. Shift, highlight the curve, copy, find my anchor point, snap to that, and then same thing again. I can use rotate and use that line as a reference point to make sure that I get it lined up right where I want it to be. Do the same thing again. Grab one of these white lines, and it doesn't matter which line you grab. Copy This one's going to go over here. Rotate. Pivot point. Snap that down there. Whoops, that's not the one I wanted. I want the white one. There we go. And one more. Copy. Snap to that. Enter. Highlight both of those. Rotate. Grab the pivot point. Grab the top anchor point. And I'm going to snap to right there. Get rid of the white line. And there we go. So now when I cut this out on the laser, it will engrave these letters, so we'll see them. And then when we fold it, everything will flow from one side to the other. Now, if we were going to have this all engraved, hatched, have it raster engraved, we would need to go in on whatever layer we're working on. So for our laser, it would be black. And we would need to connect these lines right here, the C, the L, and the N, so that when we hatch it, it's filled in and it's not an open curve. But for this project, we're just going to do the blue so that it does the vector engrave and just does the outline.